lived an old lady. She was quite elderly, with silver hair and a face covered in gentle wrinkles. However, her eyes remained bright and full of kindness. Everyone in the village loved her because she stayed happy even when life was difficult. She lived alone in a small house near a large banyan tree. She had no children, and her husband had passed away many years ago. Despite her hardship, she never complained. She would sit under the tree, talk to the villagers, and always wear a smile. In that village, people worked hard as farmers, carpenters, or market traders. Life was tough. Sometimes the rains didn't come, crops dried up, and people fell ill. Many villagers were often consumed by sadness or worry. One day, a young woman named Radha came to her, crying and full of anxiety. She said, "I don't know what to do. My husband went to the city to find work, but he hasn't sent any money. My children are hungry and I am scared." The old lady looked at Radha and smiled softly. "Sit down, my child," she said. "Tell me, what do you think will happen?" Radha wiped her tears and replied, "I don't know. I feel like bad things are going to happen. What if my husband can't find work? What if he forgets about us?" The old lady shook her head gently. "Radha, when we dwell on bad thoughts, we feel worse. But if we focus on good thoughts, we feel better. And sometimes good things actually happen." Radha asked, "But how can I think good thoughts when everything is so bad?" The old lady smiled again and decided to tell her a story. She began, "Once there was a poor man who had nothing. No food, no money, and no family. He sat by the river crying. An old woman approached him and asked why he was so sad. The man replied, 'I have nothing. How can I be happy?' The woman smiled and said, 'You have the river, the trees, and the sun. Look around you. There is beauty and life everywhere. If you think about what you don't have, you will always be sad. But if you think about what you do have, you will find peace." The man listened and slowly stopped crying. He began to notice the beauty around him, and from that on, his life began to change. The old lady looked at Radha and said, "You see, my dear, the man's life didn't change because of magic. It changed because he changed his mindset. When we think positively, our hearts feel lighter, and we can face our problems more effectively." Radha thought about it and asked, "Will my thinking really change my life?" "Yes," the old lady replied. "If you wake up every morning and tell yourself that today will be a good day, you will find the strength to work, care for your children, and wait for your husband with hope. But if you only think about what might go wrong, you will feel weak and defeated." Radha nodded slowly, beginning to understand. She left the old lady's house with a lighter heart. Every day she remembered those words. She woke up and told herself, "Today will be a good day." She worked hard, cared for her children, and prayed for her husband's return. A few weeks later, Radha received a letter. Her husband had found a job in the city and was sending money home. Overjoyed, she ran to the old lady's house to share the news. The old lady smiled and nodded. "You see, when we think positively, we invite good things into our lives. Problems will always exist, but if we face them with a hopeful heart, we can overcome them." Word of the old lady's wisdom spread throughout the village. Many people came to her with their problems, and she gave them all the same advice. Think good thoughts, and good will come. The villagers loved her even more because her words had truly changed their lives by teaching them the power of positive thinking.